What's up, everybody? Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. When we left off in the last episode, we had kind of finished up our hangar room type of thing by finishing off the ceiling, though it's not quite done yet. It's sealed, and, like, the walkways and stuff are done, but we're not really done with it. So, some people were suggesting a few things in the comments, which I thought were really good ideas. Let's see, what can I clear out? I need to clear some stuff. I need a hot bar. I'm trying to keep some of this stuff because it's the things that you use the most, you know. I think I can get rid of some of these connectors, though. Let's do like that. And I recalled these. A couple of people brought these up. I don't know if this is exactly what was intended, but they're the ones I thought of. And they're the interior lights, but they're like bars. And it got me thinking it would be really cool, instead of these kind of lights, to have them more like stripped edge lighting kind of thing, I think. So we're going to see how this looks. And see if it's actually different. Because it is important. I like all of my designs or ships or whatever having kind of a theme, but it is also cool to switch it up a little bit. So that's one way to do it, which I kind of really like that. That looks pretty cool. As opposed to like the square lights kind of thing. It not only separates kind of the design idea, but it also gives you a nice frame. Now there is, I'm going to use these different pads to do a couple different takes on it, as usual. Like this. So there's this way of doing things, which is almost more of like a grid, I guess. That it's like, you know, here's your landing squares kind of thing. Not a bad idea. It doesn't look too bad. Tell you what, we'll do half and half. And see which one we like better. We'll do these two as just the corners. I definitely think I'm going to stick with one of these, though, as opposed to the square lights. It adds some definition to the design, I think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just work here. And then we'll do like this. Whoops. I don't know why it does that sometimes, where it'll change halfway through. So there's two with the full grid, like that, and then there's two over here. Another suggestion that I got was for maglock plates, and I really, really like this idea. Though I don't really know. Okay, not 3x3. I don't really know what the best way to do it is. We've got. We'll do multiples here. We'll do like this. Now, one test that should. Oh, I keep forgetting this is the ceiling. I actually do. I keep forgetting this is the ceiling. Like, it looks enough like the floor that I'm kind of just like, okay. Okay, so that's important to note, that even with that maglock cube, that is airtight. So it won't leak anything. That's good. That's good to know. Then we also have this maglock, which kind of looks like a waffle iron, so to speak. And this one. Now, I don't really know which one I prefer. I don't think I like the waffle iron one. I think I like that one. But what I don't know is this one looks a little bit more separated because it actually breaks up the block. Whereas like this connector, it's down next to the NM blocks, but it's flush with them, so it doesn't really look any different. This, on the other hand, you can kind of see the outline, which isn't a huge deal. It's just kind of a deal. This, however, I don't know how the game will interpret it, like if this collision would cause a problem because there's a block there. I'm not too sure about... I think I would go with this one if I was certain it wouldn't cause a problem. But if this is more streamlined, then I'll probably use that one. Let's go ahead and do kind of a half and half like we did before. So this is the setup, full ring and full block, and just corners full block, and this is corners with the surface, and this is full ring with the surface. There we go. So let me know what you guys think about suggestions on which ones are better and so on and so forth. And I also received suggestions on having a script that would change the lighting of these lights depending on whether or not something was docked. I really, really like that idea. Like, I'm thinking of leaving them white to match the rest of the room, and then if something is in proximity to where it turns yellow, then we'll turn it to yellow. If it's locked, then we'll turn it to green or something like that. And that would be easy enough to do with a programmable block because you can just base it off of the connector status, which shouldn't be that hard. And we can have one for each thing, and that's the programmable block is kind of cool because it can do a lot with a little. Like, you can just have it set up 4 times and it monitors all 4 kind of thing. But anyways, so yeah, I think let's see how it looks from the floor actually. I think that's pretty cool. I honestly could go either way. I personally think I like the full square of lights. And probably the full mag lock too, just so that it's flush with the ground and it's not sticking up. I don't know. The mag lock is kind of a hit or miss. I'm not really sure which one I like more. The lights, I think I like the full square, but let me know what you guys think, as always. But yeah, one of the things that this does is it's... Ooh, out of gravity. One of the things that this does is it allows us to... when we design small ships, like a builder, grinder, whatever, it will actually allow us to make it without landing gears. That we can just have it dock with the ship's landing pads kind of thing. Now, you could do that with the connector anyway, but I do like the mag locks just for when the ship starts moving. You wouldn't have to worry about it flying all over or something. So that's pretty cool. Alright. Let's go ahead and shut that door. And I guess we're kind of done with this part. Now, there is one thing that we need to fix that I really just thought of. Woo! Could not keep track of my jetpack. Yeah, there is a couple things that we still have yet to do. One is vents. We've not properly vented this room. One thing is, do we need to? Oops. So... we could leave the hangar unventilated, but that's kind of a question for another day, I think. But definitely something to think about is, do we want to ventilate the ship? The other thing that we've got to do is connectors. We've got to hook up these connectors to the rest of the ship over here. Wait a minute. Conveyor. What is this doing here? Oh, I put an airtight conveyor there. Okay. Well, that makes things interesting. Do I not have a default block? Dang it. Okay. Now grab this color, put that back. So, what we're gonna need, this stuff doesn't need to be sealed, but what we're going to need is, I know I just grabbed that. I think we'll just wait on the gravity walks for now. Probably won't need any of this, actually. Oops. Wrong words. Okay. Now, I hadn't thought about using these, actually. These are supposed to be like conveyor tubes, but they're at length, which is kind of unique. We could also do the piping... I hadn't thought about that. Let's try and do something with pipes. Conveyor tube to pipes. Now wait a minute. Right and left. So... I guess that's all we'd really need. You wouldn't actually need to do the other ones. Oh, geez. There's so many! Pipes with support... Ugh, I don't know. Pipes, curve, we're gonna need these, I think. Pressure card mirrored. I think that's all we'll need. Let's try this out. So, okay. I don't understand how this one works. Because, like, how do you connect it to anything? What if we do... Yeah, I don't know how that works. That's weird. Let's make this one like this, and we'll do... that way. Yeah, let's try that. And... Gosh, I have no idea how to spin this thing. Okay, not that way, so we need the mirrored one. Wait, what? Go. Okay, that's not what I need you to do at all. Useless. Now with... I could probably do... No, that's... You are not doing what you need to do, you stupid pipes. Okay. Also, we do have a bit of an issue with the pipes here. Oh, I was probably looking for curve up. That's probably what I was actually looking for. Maybe? See, I needed to do that, but go the other way. It's so frustrating. Wait, what about this? There we go. That's what I needed you to do. Stupid pipe. So, one problem I see with the pipes... I don't think I can do pipes. Because of this over here, we can't connect this without doing one of these, and these don't have... The pipes don't have a T-junction. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. Oh well. I keep trying to use different mods, but it doesn't always work. Alright, so what I really need is standard tube, standard curve. We'll grab the 3x3, or the 3x1, just to see how it works. Now, you could use the DT airtight ones that are more like a block with an interior wall face. Not a bad idea. I personally prefer just simple piping for that kind of stuff. So, for example, here, we're just going to put a T. And so this is the... Ah! So close. I don't know if that actually saves you any material or not. So, bulletproof glass is 4. 3 4s are 12. Oh, no, 4 by 4. So, 4 4s are 16. 4 8s are 20. Yeah, so it's just multiplying it by... It's just multiplying the material count is all it's doing. Which isn't a bad idea, I guess. It's just one of those, like, you could accomplish it either way. It's not that big of a deal. Though the dimension-wise is working out pretty darn perfectly, which is awesome. Okay. Let's actually just bring this out one. And again, you could use the 2x2 one, or I keep saying by, it's not 2x2, it's just 2. You could use the 2x1, you know, etc., etc. Okay. What the heck? Why will you not rotate the other way? Well, that's only annoying. I do hate conveyor tubes sometimes. They work very finicky to where they don't want to cooperate. I think it's because they look for an attachment point, and if they don't find it, they just don't work. Okay, so we've got two things going here. One is we have an established conveyor system now to the hangar from the industrial or refinery room or whatever you want to call it. So, what that means is if we want to ventilate the room, we can just connect it to, we can extend the pipes some direction and connect it to vents and actually ventilate the room. If we don't want to do that, I mean, then we don't want to do that, but if we don't want to do that, then we can just leave it as it is, and the connectors are now hooked up to where when a ship docks and unloads, it will load into the refinery room. And a couple of people had mentioned possibly doing some of the hangar in heavy armor, like up here where you're landing, so that the blocks didn't get damaged when you take off and land. I personally am planning on building other ships that this would dock with in a manner that they're going to use certain kinds of thrusters that won't do damage anyway, because I prefer those thrusters over the ones that can damage things. That will require experimentation on which thrusters do what. I believe these thrusters don't hurt things, I think. I'm not 100% positive on that front, but I'm pretty sure that they do not cause damage. Why is this block here? This is kind of bugging me. No purpose for that to be there. Okay. We'll work on the exterior at some point eventually once we've got the interior kind of finito. So, let's see, what else do we need? We have power. We have processing, and we have hangar. So I guess the next course would be bridge. I'm guessing. It's either going to be bridge or like station quarters kind of thing for people to live, mess halls and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think of order of operations as far as you wouldn't want... Like, I'm trying to design the ship as I build it, so you wouldn't want the hangar... I don't think you would want to just walk out of the hangar and right into the bridge. That would be kind of weird. But at the same time, we've got these offshoot hallways that if we want to use those, we could make those go to like mess hall and armory and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Let's see. One thing we could do, I'm also trying to think about exterior design and how I want to do this, and I've mentioned Star Destroyers before. I don't really want to do a Death Star where it's just like a round orb, because that's kind of boring. But the way that we're building this is almost the reverse of a Star Destroyer, that it keeps getting wider as it gets to the front of the nose at this rate, unless I made the reactor room like further up, which would just be kind of weird for you to walk through the reactor through the processing to get to the hangar. That's just kind of odd. I'm thinking of doing like these offshoot ones as one going to like I don't know, armory, or maybe bunks, maybe going to 2 bunk rooms. I don't know. I'm trying to streamline it that like if you had fighter pilots, right, that you would want them close to the hangar so that if something happens you can just run them out to the hangar. kind of thing. So we'll see. More than likely what I'll do is branching. We'll start branching with the paths to where this will go just out, but then like back would go towards the mess hall or something, and this would go towards the bunk rooms, and then you'd have the armory or something, so you could come out, grab a gun, go to the hangar type of thing. Maybe something like that. Which leaves... We could also go up. I've been trying to keep it kind of fairly linear in design, but we could actually build up to make like a bridge. But again, you're kind of left with the whole come over here, come back up, go over this way to get to the bridge kind of thing. So I'm not really sure what to do with it. Again, we also have the issue that we're kind of getting wider in the front, which is going to be a bit of a problem as we keep designing this, unless we just pad it with a lot of metal for material kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where to proceed. Tell you what, let me think about it a minute, and I'm going to derp around with it, run some designs over, and I'll see what I come up with, and I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, so here's kind of the basic outline that I've come up with. Not sure, it's not going to be like permanent as far as we're going to move this around a little bit as needed. I think the outline is probably going to be the only thing that stays somewhat consistent. The interior part is what will kind of move around based on that, but I've color-coded everything so we can kind of get a ballpark of what it is. The gray block is an airlock so that you can basically come in. So the idea here is right when you come in to the ship, you can go left, which green is the mess hall. And again, based on the proximity to this outline, we're going to have to kind of, you know, finagle with it a little bit as far as I'm going to build the mess hall room how I want and then work the outline around it. But the outline gives us a general ballpark of how I want the shape of the ship to look, just to give you guys an idea. So green represents the mess hall, so when you come in, you go to left, and this will be like your mess hall area. When you go to the right, the two black blocks are going to be armories, or small, maybe 3x3 rooms that have like guns and stuff in them. And then blue is your quarters, your crew quarters. So essentially the idea is when you enter, you could come right in, drop your guns off, go to bed, or go to eat, and then go to bed. And if there was an emergency, you could run in, grab a weapon, run in, everybody to their fighter, type of thing. And then you could, or go up and go to the fighter. You know, that kind of thing. The red block is kind of ambiguous. This is going to be all control related. So probably we're going to have a section for programmable blocks. We can move the programmable block that's in the reactor room. We can move that to control the reactor from this area. It'll also be the one that controls the lights on the shuttles, blah, blah, blah. And for those of you that watch my Programming 101 series, once the Sleepless OS is completed, this will probably be the flagship that runs the first version of that once it actually gets running. So yeah, this will be bridge, controls, you know, any kind of control or command related is going to be in the red section here. On the left side over, or I guess it's the ship's right, kind of the same idea, airlock, mess hall, armory, crew quarters. The yellow cross type shape here things are representing thruster rooms. I'm not going to make them super accessible. Like you might not even access them through the hangar. You might. It's kind of one of those I still have yet to fully design the whole thing. What will probably, the most likely thing that'll happen is we'll do, let me go ahead and take this, we can turn that off for now. The most likely thing that'll happen is coming from here. That when we come in, I don't know why, no matter what I do, this room stays ventilated. It's weird. But what'll happen is we could come out this way and then it'll wrap around and you can go to the other thrusters. But since I'm going to probably use thrusters like these that I don't think do damage, it also means that we don't need them exposed on the outside of the ship either. which we could do. I mean, this frame is just here as a frame, but we could put thrusters there if we really wanted to. I like the idea of them being internalized because then nobody can actually shoot your thrusters, kind of thing. That's the other thing that'll go up in the red section is fire control. It'll be like fire control, bridge. I don't know if I actually want to do it like an actual bridge, though, where you don't have separate rooms. You literally have fire control, script running, all that stuff is the bridge. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. Rather than, a lot of people, when they build stuff, it's usually meant for cosmetic or aesthetic, so it's like, this is the bridge, this is the fire control, all that kind of stuff, but in reality, it's like they all kind of go together, like that's what all of those computers on the bridge kind of do. So, but that's kind of the ballpark that I'm thinking. It still kind of has that Star Destroyer-ish-esque kind of look to it, but I'm not going to do it quite the same as having, like, you know, the big hammerhead bridge up on top and all that kind of stuff in the cart. Actually, we could. I would just have to move the control room, and this section would be kind of just wasted space or storage or something. But let me know what you guys think about this design in the comments. Feel free to leave support or critiques, whatever. Let me know. And in the meantime, I think we're going to wrap things up here, so I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. Peace!